Hey everyone, this is Derek here, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at how well Tencent's emulator for PUBG Mobile, the official one, Tencent Gaming Buddy, actually runs. So I heard you loud and clear in all the comments that you left in the first two emulator videos I did, which is amazing. You said, let's see some gameplay. So what we'll be doing today is we'll jump into training mode and I'll show you exactly how well the emulator works, and we'll try out all the different key commands and keybinds and see how we can navigate around the game. And then in the next video we'll be doing a ranked match and see how well we can actually play against other emulator players, because if you're using this emulator, at least in theory, you should only be matched up with other people on the emulator, which keeps the mobile players, like me normally on a phone, a level playing field, so those players don't have to play against mouse and keyboard. So what we'll do here is we'll jump into training mode, and I'm not playing this in full screen just so you can see to the right of the screen all the options, and if you're not that familiar with the game on an emulator, you can see what each keybind does. These are the defaults. And you can see some tooltips pop up, so you can find items in buildings. That's not super useful in training mode, but we'll take it. So you can see here, I am screen capturing. I'm using a Gigabyte Aero 15, which is a fairly recent gaming laptop. It came out about a year ago, and it has a 1060 and a 7700 HQ. We're running this at an HD 1080p, and I am screen recording at 60 FPS, so that might affect performance, but I'd expect that the laptop will be able to keep up. So what we've got here is, I'll just show you the interface real quick. So you're using your mouse to actually look around the screen. This looks pretty smooth. And then you've got your directionals. WASD are strafe right, strafe left, run forward, run backwards. Next, we'll head over to one of these item tables, and you can see that you have three options. So I'm leaving the keybinds on, visible, because I want to show you how I'm doing this. But you can actually turn these off, as I'll show you later, if you want a less cluttered interface. So F, G, and H are your three lootable items. So you can loot, for example, let's say we want to get the Mini 14. We're just going to hit H, and that allows you to pick up that. Now, what if we want to pick up some ammo? So if you have too many items to be able to pick up, what you can do is you actually use your scroll down on your scroll wheel, and you'll see that that changes what F, G, and H correspond to. So now if we want to get some 5.56 for our Mini 14, we can just hit G, and then we could hit H. Just like that, now we've got some ammo. So let's grab some more ammo, actually. And let's go ahead and maybe grab a Uzi. So let's see if we can find that. We'll have to scroll up and then hit H. And I'm doing this slower than one would actually do it in game, just to show you how well it works and to get used to the system. So we'll grab a backpack level 3, which is F, the first choice. Yeah, let's see here. We have to have a pan, right? I mean, it is PUBG. We'll grab a helmet and a vest, and then maybe some throwables too. We could talk about those. So we'll pick up all those guys. There's another tooltip popped up. Let's see if we can get some attachments for the weapons. We'll maybe grab a suppressor, a stock for the Uzi, suppressor for the Uzi. Yeah, why not? And maybe some extended quick draws. So we'll just do that. And like I said, you can see F, G, and H correspond to different items as you're moving through the loot menu, depending on what's around you. So I think I'll click on, well, we have to have the 8 times, maybe we'll have the 2 times, and then maybe a red dot too. So I think we're good now. I think we're pretty well prepared to head out and explore the world. Let's see what we can do. So let's head over here where it's a little quieter. I'm going to hold down shift so that I can run faster. That's sprinting. You can also hit equal sign to toggle auto run or auto sprint. You can see a little bit of stutter there. Not sure if that's a screen recorder or just the emulator. We'll have to just keep an eye on it as we continue to play. So let's just run over here where it's nice and quiet, and let's see if we can shoot something. So aim at those crates maybe. So by default, 1 and 2 are your primary and secondary weapons. So if you tap 1, you'll put away that weapon. If you tap 2, you'll pull out that one. So that's how you can easily switch between your primary and secondary weapons. And let's go ahead and see what sort of scope we have on this. So we'll hit tab to enter our backpack. You can see there, and when you tab, you actually have a mouse interface now to be able to move around. Normally the mouse is locked to your character's movement or looking, where your character's looking. So we can see that we've got the scope. Oh man, I picked up the holographic instead of 2 times. All right, so we'll swap that. So you can see how you can actually just left click and then drag items around. So let's switch back to the scope there, hit tab to exit the interface. You can see now, once again, the mouse is locked to movement. And now we'll go ahead, right click to aim down scope or ADS, and then we'll take a shot or two. Let's see here, we shoot that guard tower. So you can see how well that's working. If you want to reload, that is R, as you can see on the bottom there. And so that's pretty much it. Let's see if we can get all the keybinds down so I can show you everything. WASD, like I said, left click is fire, right click is aim down scope. Space is jump, vault, or up. So normally it is to jump. So let's head over to these barrels here and I'll show you, let's see if we can vault or climb onto them. So normally, there we go. So you can see we're climbing up onto the barrels. See if we can climb up onto the roof like that. And normally spacebar is just jump, as you can see here. Let's see what else we've got. It's also up if you're swimming, if you're trying to get up to the surface. I hate swimming in this game. I've said that in many videos. C and Z are crouch and prone. So you can see C, I usually use my index finger to get to that. And then Z is prone. I usually just slide down my ring finger to get to that one. So it's kind of whatever's comfortable to you. If you want to run silently, crouch run with the micro Uzi, you can do that. As that video was probably about a week ago or so now that I brought that to the attention of everyone, and it's pretty cool. It's a pretty neat trick, although they do patch it in a future version, so enjoy it now if you're using it. Let's see what we've got. We've got Alt is free look, so the sensitivity is going to be too high right now. I know that, but basically if you hold down Alt, which is next to spacebar, it actually unlocks your mouse, so now you can look around while you're still moving. So you can see I could even strafe to the right, for example, while I'm free looking. So this is super useful, and this is one of the huge advantages over the mobile game. So people say, you know, is it really that much better if you're playing on a mouse and keyboard? It is if you're doing something like this, if you're running into a zone, avoiding fire, and you can see exactly where the guy behind you is, which in the mobile version is a lot harder to do because you're using, you know, touch input, and it's very difficult to do more than 3 things or 3 or 4 things at the same time in that version. So let's see if we can find that guy. So that's pretty much everything there. Let's see, we have to talk about throwables. So throwables are your 4, 5, and 6 keybinds. So what we've got here is if you want to throw a grenade, you're going to want to press down on 4, and you can see that that brings up your frag grenade. If you want to throw a Molotov or a stun grenade, that is 6. So we'll tap that now. You can see it switches. And then maybe we'll switch to 5, smoke grenade, just for fun. So there's a guy shooting us. So what we'll do is we'll right click to switch between a high and a low toss. And I think we'll just roll this smoke grenade in front of us. Didn't really roll it anywhere, but that way we can get some cover to hopefully hide from this sniper. So you can see that's how the throwables work. The healing items work in very much the same way. You have 7, 8, and 9. Let's see how that smoke effect renders. Not terrible. No noticeable lag really from using it. 7, 8, 9, and 0 are your healables, and they are not. We can't really test those out here because you're invulnerable. So now we're up to the key reminder switch. So F1. So I was telling you before, if you want to declutter your interface, once you know what relates to what and you don't want to worry about actually looking at that anymore, you can declutter your interface by hitting F1, and you see how that removes all those tooltips. So now, like, if for example, if you're like, oh man, how do I get into the backpack? Well, then just hit F1 again and you can see, oh, it's tab. Okay, that makes sense. So that's that. The mouse lock switch is the little squiggly thing above tab. Not 100% sure what it's called. And what that does is it unlocks your mouse. So now your mouse does not control where you look. You can still use directionals to move, but now you actually have to click and drag to look around. But this is useful though if you want to switch to, want to switch that more easily, or you want to click on something in the game. So not super useful for me personally. I'm probably not going to use it that much, but like I said, it is useful in some situations, so I want to bring it to your attention definitely. Now, if we're like, oh man, how do we get in, or how do we get in or drive? Well, you should know that F pretty much does everything. So if you don't know what to push F and it'll probably work. But we could also turn on those tooltips and you'll see drive is F and get in is G. So let's get into the passenger side. We'll hit G first. And then if we want to switch our position, we can click C to change our seat. And now we're driving. So now we're using our directionals in order to WASD in order to steer and go forward or backwards. Shift is to speed boost or nitro. Let's see where we can go. G is the horn, if you want to be that person. So if we want to drive around, a lot of people will do something like, let's see if we can find an open area there. So some people will actually switch while they're moving, heel up, and then switch back and keep driving. You can see how well this is working. It's not bad at all. So as we're driving around, let's see if there's anything else. So you might wonder, how do I get out of the car? Because that's not on the interface. And well, like I said before, if you don't know how to do something, just hit F and it'll probably do it. Or you'll learn at least what it does. So F is to get in and out of vehicles. So like I said, it doesn't show up here when you're actually driving. But if you want to get out of the vehicle, do that. Just hit F, and remember, don't exit a moving vehicle, otherwise you'll take a lot of unnecessary damage. So I think that's pretty much it. As we crash into a wall, I think that's pretty much it. Everything I wanted to show you on this first gameplay video, just showing you some gameplay from the training mode. And what we'll be doing next is we'll actually be playing around on a ranked game. So I'll probably do either a solo or duos or squads. This is one issue I have noticed. This is one of the bugs I found, is sometimes when I try to climb up on this wall, it won't allow me to. You can see sometimes it glitches out. Because what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to get onto the hood of the UAZ. That way I can... So you can see there is definitely a bug. So here's a guy with a micro Uzi stealing our vehicle. The whole point of that was supposed to be to get onto the roof to show you the ghillie suit, but this jerk had to steal it instead. So yeah, hopefully this gave you a short overview of what to expect from the new PUBG Mobile emulator, the official one. I try to put some shots down. The sensitivity is too high. I'm gonna blow up this vehicle just to be a jerk. And there it goes. So yeah, if this video helped you out, definitely give it a like so other people can find it, and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already for tons more PUBG Mobile content. If you haven't joined my Discord server, I'll leave a link to that in the description below too. That way you can more easily interact with other people from this community, because it's growing and that's awesome to see. So my name's Derek G, and I hope to see you on the battlefield soon or in the Discord.